welcome to the first traveler in today, Migo! And thank you to everyone who's checked in. Hello, Berkey! Hello, Yue! Hello, Cindy! Hi, Migo! Hi, guys! I have a really cool guest here with me today, and I'm actually so excited to get this going. Hold on. Let me turn that down. So, if you guys might not know, I have a VTuber interview podcast called SmolTalk, where basically, I just let my guests yap about whatever they'd like, and I just try to get to know them more as a person. And you, the chat, are allowed to get to know them better with me, with using some questions of your own. Choose your team sunny or rainy, and you can ask questions for that respective team. Questions that are liked especially by our guest Jay will be hearted by him in our little Discord, and whatever questions that he likes will receive double the points that you normally would already receive for asking a question. So thank you guys for already participating in our tavern point system through the traveler logs this month. Even though I haven't been streaming much, you guys have been so active. Thank you. I was so sad. I was like, oh, what if I don't stream and no one does anything anymore? So, side tangent from the normal small talk business. I just wanted to really like give some love to my Discord for keeping up with their logs, you know? It's so nice to be able to have a way to keep up with you guys when I'm not live. So I really have so much satisfaction and dreams. I have dreams now spawning from these traveler logs. So if you guys want to earn more points besides checking in for your team, ask questions, tell me about yourself in our Discord, and maybe do some more stuff. Tell me about your if you're a tavern folk, if you guys show up for that interview, did that also technically supposed to get you points? I'm still trying to figure out how to get that system going, but until I do, I'm so excited to have this month's Tavern Folk Talks, which is on the 30th. I have some questions already prepared. They're not in my streamer bot yet, so okay. The questions I will announce later, but something for you guys to think about while we have some more of a break for Vespy until the next Tavern Folk Talk. So thank you guys for letting me yap about all of my own personal business. I need to tell you guys about someone real cool, okay? I know you guys hear me yap about so many cool people, but this one especially makes my heart go doki doki in ways that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he's willing to talk to me. So I have a lot of love for Jay. He is our resident, well, I just recently learned he's a fucking owl VTuber, but he's our resident audio engineer guy that I kind of just go to for all of my audio resources, even before I even like commissioned him for the first time. So I have a lot of respect for him, and I actually know a lot of folks around me with the same kind of respect. So I am so excited to try to get to know him better with chat. So let's get this going. Let me unmute. Hello, Jay.
Well, hello.
Hello. Would you like to please introduce yourself to my community?
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay. I guess I'm an owl.
Yes, you are. You are an owl. I have so much love for owls, actually. But before that, I wanted to actually ask, do you have a preference for sunny or rainy weather?
I love the rain.
Let's go! All right, a point to the rainy. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, rainy team. I always got your back.
Woo! Okay, so I already told Jay this, but just to reiterate, so something that I have not done before with Small Talk is incentivize good questions. If there are any good questions that Jay likes, he will like them in our Discord, and that will receive double the points. So, viewers, chatters, travelers, please, I highly endorse such good things. But you guys have already been asking good questions, genuinely. So I wanna reward those guys that have been. Yeah. So hello, Jay. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
You know,
How are you, Vespy?
Oh, thank you. I'm good. It's been a really fucking good day. And
That's good.
actually, this is a good place to start then. I asked you about yours as well. How was your day?
It's been pretty good so far. I mean,
Mhm.
I've just been doing a little bit of work today, a little bit of audio things. But I haven't really done too much else today. I was gonna play my bass clarinet, but then I realized it was almost time for us to start. So I was like, oh, I better not do that.
Oh my god, maybe you can play your bass clarinet right now anyway.
Oh my god.
What would you do?
No. I don't know. My original plan was to just play around, practice a little bit because I just got a new synthetic reed instead of like a cane reed, and I'm really excited about it.
Now, I saw you post about this on Twitter. How has that difference been so far?
Oh, at least for clarinet, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's like it's so great. I literally will never play on a cane reed ever again.
What the heck? Is it cheaper too, I bet?
Well, so it depends. So, actual synthetic reeds are like $30 to $40 per reed, but a box of reeds for like 10 is like $30. But then you factor into that like half of them or more don't even work half the time. So you're just constantly buying more and more and more packs of reeds. So in the long run, if it works, yeah, technically it's cheaper.
Why would they not work?
Well, so it has to do with the fact that cane is, it's bamboo. So like,
it's a natural.
Yeah, when the machines cut them and such, sometimes reeds end up like you get a box of 10 and they come in different strengths and sizes, right? So let's say, for example, I got a box of 10 size 3, right? Which, like, in theory, for my skill level as a clarinetist, that should be great. That should be like the perfect size for me. But sometimes the way the cutting for reeds works is the machines give it like a hardness to the reed, but the final decision is like rounded up or down. So it's like a 3 that I pull out of the box could be a 3.15 or a 2.85 or something, or it could just be a 3. But reed sizes go in half, so the next step up is 3.5 or 2.5. But if it's not close enough to that number, they just round down or up.
Okay.
So you could pull out a like 6 reeds that say 3, but they're actually harder to play on than a normal 3. And that makes them very difficult to deal with because...
What the heck? The margin of error is just so large.
That's
so stupid.
It's huge. I know. I agree. It's dumb.
Okay. But I would assume that with like synthetics, it's just so much more consistent.
Pretty much. I mean, you still sometimes get the same problem, but the thing with synthetics is they go up, at least for certain brands, they go up in sizes of quarters instead of halves. So like the reeds that I just bought were 3.25s.
Okay. They can be more precise.
Exactly. You have more control over like what you pick, which seems more effective. I mean, it worked for me, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah. But okay, when you say that you will never go back to reeds, is it just because of that, or is it like the sound? Like,
well, so it's mainly the hassle, the sound of cane, and it's interesting because like a lot of people will stress, people that have tested both, most people that play clarinet, as far as I'm aware, or most reed instrumentalists are either hardcore cane lovers or they're hardcore synthetic reed lovers, and there's no in between.
Tribalism.
So what I've found is it seems like people will say that, oh, like I love the sound of cane more. It's more full and warm and rich. But just a little caveat, as an audio engineer, I literally don't hear a difference that much. So I don't think it's really that deep. But the difference is so negligible that like it's not a big deal. So the biggest thing with cane is like in having synthetic is it's less hassle. So the way synthetic reeds work is you can literally, you buy them, you pull them out of the box, and you can just play them. And if you picked the right size, in theory, and you didn't have an error with the machine, right? It should just sound correct. Like it should have the correct tonality and all that good jazz, and it should feel good to play on. So the problem with cane is like I mentioned earlier with the margin for error, right? Is sometimes you'll put reeds out and they may sound perfect and they're great, or they're really stuffy and fuzzy and hard, like resistant to blow air through, and then that that's a pain because you either have to get what's called a reed knife and trim them down yourself, which I do have and can do, but it's a pain. Or you just keep playing on it for weeks and weeks until it softens up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's a real pain. And I mean, I can trim reeds, but if I'm buying synthetics, having a reed I can just pull out and play on and perform on immediately is like, man, it changes my whole world.
Heck yeah! I'm glad to know that. But how long were you going with just normal canes before you found synthetics?
Oh my god, I've been playing clarinet for like 13 years. so like 12 of those years.
No!
Almost all of them.
So just
Because
the last year. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, like, I played on synthetics before, like when I was in marching band in high school.
Okay.
I had a synthetic reed, and there was a particular kind that I guess is really touted for like marching musicians because they're very bright and they're very projective, or they project, well. But then I got one for my bass clarinet back then, and it was so hard to play on, and I was like, wow, these are shit. I hate them. So I was like, I swore, I was like, I'll never play on synthetics ever again. And then literally like last week, I was like, maybe I should try synthetic reed. So it's a brand new development.
Nice. We love those, especially when we're trying to, like, I guess, break from some preconceived notions. I think I come across those like all the time. I'm not sure why though. I think it's just so easy to get caught up with like a frame and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then when you experience it for the first time, like, oh my god.
Yeah, 1000%. Because like, oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
No, I was just gonna say like that's exactly it. Because like I was like, oh, synthetics, they don't work for me. I had that one read and it was terrible, and I was like, I'm never gonna do it ever again. They're bad. And then the same thing is like everyone always is like, oh, Kane sounds better. It feels better to play on. Blah blah blah. And so I like had this preconceived notion of like, oh, synthetics are actually terrible, and I don't know why anybody would ever buy them. And then I saw a professional clarinetist once talk about. He was like, you know how my tone is always good because I play on synthetics. And I was like, what? So then I was like, I gotta try it.
Let's fucking go! I love that. Can you mention the pro?
I actually don't remember their name.
Dang it, that's okay.
If I find them later, I'll send you a link.
Yeah, okay. Now, oh gosh, 13 years. What the heck? How'd you get into that?
Well, it's funny because when I bring that number up, I made a mention of this. I just posted a little clarinet video to my clarinet channel, but I said the same thing in there, but I always forget how long it's been that I've been playing, because every time people ask like, oh, how long have you been playing? Or when I tell them, I'm like, oh, it's been like 8 years, but it had been like 8 years, like 4 years ago.
What the heck?
and I always forget, like I have that number locked in my head for some reason, but yeah, so
people's ages.
Right, like I'm forever this age. But yeah, so like starting clarinet was, I mean, really, it's so interesting because it was just the typical like, oh, you get into middle school. I think it was seventh grade.
Yeah, middle school brand.
I think so. Yeah, 7th grade, and they're like, oh, you gotta pick an instrument to play. You gotta test out all the mouthpieces and stuff and play an instrument. Because I think it was like either you do band or it was something else, and I didn't want to do that other thing. I think it was band or gym maybe. And so I picked band, obviously. And they were like, okay, great. So then it was band or choir. That's what it was. You had to pick between the musical, and I don't sing. So I was like, oh, I'll just pick band, I guess. And so when I went to the first band class to test out all the instrument pieces, I couldn't make a sound out of any single one of them. And I really wanted to play trumpet, actually, but I couldn't get any sound to come out of the mouthpiece when I was that young. And so I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then the very last thing they had me try was a clarinet mouthpiece. And it worked. And I was like, oh, and they were like, you can play clarinet. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Squidward from SpongeBob plays clarinet. I guess that's cool. Whatever. He's not very good, though. And so then from there, it was like, I just kind of play the instrument. It wasn't really like I didn't really care that much about it at the time. It was like, oh, this is like a requirement for school. So like, I got to do it. And then obviously like my parents were very, very generous. So they like, financed a new instrument for me. And then I played. But over time, as I got into high school, I really started to enjoy playing my instrument a lot. And I really, but specifically like, I don't hate classical music. I think it's fine. And I think it has its place. But I really loved the idea when I first realized, oh, I can play video game music on my clarinet. That's crazy. Like the first time I ever played like the Mario theme, I was like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so, oh, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was trying to find your clarinet channel, and your link tree doesn't quite link to it. So
Might not.
Can I ask for that?
Yeah, I think. Did I? Maybe. Oh, you know what? I haven't listed. I don't think I've listed all the channels. My clarinet channel is. Let me find it really quick. I have too many YouTube channels. That's the problem.
I get that.
Let me find it really quick. It should be, if you're on YouTube, it should just be. You could probably search up Clarinet Weeb J, but I will also send it to you.
Okay.
Via our DMs here. There you go.
Yippee! Here we go.
And this is a lot of this is brand new. Like I haven't. This is a topic we can talk about later as well. But TLDR is like I just posted something on this channel today, and I'm trying to play clarinet more and record more things, and then just post them for the sake of just like me playing clarinet and having a good time, and like here's my journey and that kind of shit. So like, yeah. So it's like just as of today, this is new.
Oh my god, let's go! I was so fucking excited because when you mentioned this, but you mentioned you've been playing and you've been like practicing, but like where's the content?
Well, yeah, I have that channel, and I've been I posted some content like 2 years. Good lord, 2 years ago. What a waste of time. 2 years ago, and then also on like TikTok at the time. I don't really post on TikTok anymore. I don't like TikTok, but I made shorts on YouTube, and then I like used to post just like you probably see on the channel, but like multi-video, like the arrangement kind of like cover video type stuff. I used to do that many years ago on an old channel, but then I was like, oh, I gotta port these somewhere, so then I shifted it to this channel.
I see.
But I'm kind of thinking more of doing similar to the short style or like the new long form where I'm like, here's me playing for like an hour and a half and then cut out some bits out of it or something. So that's my plan anyway.
Wow, I actually fucking love that. Especially the multi-layered ones. I remember watching those a fuck ton when I was little. Or I've always been little, but when I was younger. But was there any in particular that you could remember?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Oh, my bad. So, did you find any inspiration from doing these multi-layered videos?
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. I know I'm just
no
literally stupid and didn't
worries.
hear your first half of your question for some reason. Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever seen, like Smooth McGroove
No.
or like, there's others too. The Smooth McGroove or like, there's a guy who used to do those kind of videos with Kazoo. All these guys like cover video game music, by the way, or like Insane in the Rain music is another big one that you may know of. He did like jazz stuff for a while.
He's got an insane beard.
Yeah.
Smooth McGroove. Yeah.
Yeah, Smooth McGroove is great. So he does like a cappella video game covers, and he does that like multi-video stuff. And like I watched his content for I loved his covers, and so he was like an inspiration. I was like, oh, I could do that with my clarinet, and then I like did. But the other thing with the multi-layer videos is like they take a long time to put together because you have to record so many different parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known some musicians in the past, or even now that do YouTube, that like have talked about how to pare down the process, and it's really just like record less camera angles, like record less parts. Even if your thing has like 16 clarinet parts, only do like 3 on your video, because it's just like easier to produce, much faster.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so those kind of things inspired me to start doing that. So I did that a long time ago on an old channel, and then I nuked that channel. So I archived them into a drive, and then I started uploading them on this channel, and then didn't really know what to do with this channel after some time. But now we're back, and this is what I want to do with it, I guess.
Why'd you nuke the channel?
Oh, that's a long story.
I mean, we have 2 hours.
Well, it's not a long story, but TLDR is I had an old channel, and some people that know of me may remember this alias, but like I used to have a channel how long ago now? 3 years ago. It was called Soundweeb J, and on that channel, it was the first thing that channel was. It's gone through many rebrands, but long time ago, like 8 years ago, it was my clarinet. It was just my personal channel, and so sometimes I did gaming content, sometimes I did stupid little VR chat videos. Then I was uploading my clarinet covers for a long time. That channel had like 800 subscribers, and it took me like 8 years to build that because I was just posting only those, like the clarinet covers, basically.
You've been making content for so long.
I have, but I'm still not good at it.
What the heck? You're amazing. I hate that. I hate that you said that. Like, quite viscerally. But go on.
But so I did that for like 8 years. I'd been creating covers, and then out of the blue, this is when the big ol', cough plague happened. There was that was when Hololive was getting its big like super boom in the US essentially, and so like I saw a clip of Corone on my YouTube feed, and randomly, I cannot recall what possessed me to do this kind of content randomly, but I was like, what if I did reaction videos to VTubers? And then I think I was one of I don't like to toot this horn, but I think I was one of the first, like next to like Coefficient and a few others, like one of the first like IRL people to do reaction content to VTubers. So, but I made a video reacting to Corone.
I see.
And literally I remember to this day, the video was titled, I think it was titled something like this cute dog will cure your depression. And it was like just me reacting to Corona clips and talking about how fucking funny and cute I thought she was.
Do you
and
have
like
that
I was like,
video
what
still?
It's buried. I have it in an archived drive.
Oh my gosh, would you be willing to release this at all, or is it just buried and never to be seen?
I mean, look.
That's okay. I understand. Like, this is like, yeah.
Look, so it's buried. I do show people when they ask sometimes because I'm like, I don't know if I'll show it here, but
That's
like
okay. It's just for my eyes.
I was gonna say I could show you sometime if you want to see it, but
Hell yeah.
the content at the time, it was soup Vespy. It was so cringe. It was so bad.
No, you don't understand. That's like, I'm such a fan of the VTubing like community and how long they've been around, but I am such a baby. I'm such a baby when it comes to this shit. I only started being a fan when Holo Ian came in. So knowing that you have content from when that time of the burst, like, I would love to see what kind of things were being said and thought, because just would show how far we've come for sure.
That's true. Really, a lot of the content when I record was just me being like, wow, that's so cute, and then laughing a lot.
I love that. I would be doing that too.
Yeah, that's really what it was. But so like I recorded that video and then I posted it, and remember, context again, I had 800 subscribers, and this is the channel I've been posting clarinet covers and random gaming videos that barely got any views. We're talking like 50 or less views in a span of a month usually, right?
I see.
And so I posted this video, and like 3 days later it had like 1,000 views, and I was like, well,
VTubers.
and I remember literally my eyes did the shine, the gleam. I like remember posting at the time, LOL, I remember posting on Facebook. I was like, this is the first time a video I've made has ever gotten this many views. Like, what happened in the span of a week? I'm so overwhelmed. It was crazy. But then Vespy, it got worse because 1,000 views in a couple days. By the end of the week, it had like 10,000.
Ooh,
and
that's
I was like
exponential.
I was losing my mind, and I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. This has never happened to me before. And so then I kept making more VTuber reactions to Hololive, basically. Like literally 4 days later, I posted a video about Pecora, and then like a couple days after that, I did a video on Coco, and then all these, like, I just kept pumping out videos because reaction content, it's easy, really.
Yeah.
So like, and I hate to be that person, but it is. Like, I had no problem. Like, but something that I prided myself on though was that like I did, and this is something I've struggled with a lot, but we'll talk about this later maybe. I care a lot about my editing. And so when I would make reaction content, it wasn't just me sitting in the corner talking. I would do like the zoom cuts. I would do like the funny like head inflation like spherical thing, and I would do like funny audio filters, and I would do like when I would get angry, I would do a rumble and a shake zoom, and I would do like the crazy stuff. Like it wasn't just like,
You did
oh,
so
you watch it.
much.
I liked, because I like the style of like those classic like gaming videos, you know? And so I would like put that style of editing into like reaction content. And I cared about it a lot, but the part of the problem with that at the time was that like when you do that, it takes longer to put out content, and reaction stuff is usually about trending things, and I don't care about that. But I will say though, I still think that like the editing made people still like my content because it was very unique to that niche. But that being said, so like things were exponentially growing at the time. So it was like I went from, you know, my videos kept getting like thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and I went from 800 subscribers to like 20,000 in like 4 months, and it was really wild. But then I was doing the content for a while, and then I made a little bit of an oopsie, sort of. I decided that I didn't want to keep reacting to VTubers because I hated reaction content.
Valid.
I don't hate it. I like
Base.
watching it sometimes. I hate making it, right? It's really boring to make. It's so boring. And so at one point I finally was like, hey, like here's a deal. And I made a video where I was like, I don't really want to react to VTubers anymore. I'm an audio engineer, like, but we can still talk VTubers, but I want to talk about like audio things. So sometime after that, I was doing videos where like I'd break down covers that like Hololive or other VTubers did, and I would like talk about the mixing aspects and stuff like that. But obviously, because that was not the audience that the channel originally attracted, my content went from hundreds of thousands of views to like 1,000 or less per video.
I see.
And I would wake up pretty much every morning like staring at that and not feeling super great about it.
Understandable. React content just generates those kinds of numbers. So when you step away from that, I totally understand that experience.
Yeah, and then so what ended up happening with that was that was the old channel, right? And then like this is I'd say relatively recent, like 2 years ago, before we moved to the current place we live in, I was staring at that channel, and I'd been working my full-time job during that time. So I was like waking up basically like 6 to 3 every day, 6 to 4, not too bad, right? Like, it's fine. I get my evenings. But I would wake up, I'd stare at YouTube Studio, I'd refresh it constantly and see like all the negative analytic numbers and all the like grays and all the bad, like the 10 out of 10s. And I would see like, oh, I haven't posted a video in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and I just like super depressive, like obsessive cycle every single day, while also being far enough into the full-time job at the time that I was just like coasting basically. And so before we moved across the country, I literally nuked the channel. Like I hit the button on Google and deleted the channel, and just I saved stuff I wanted to save, of course, into that archive drive, but then I completely deleted it off the face of the earth, because I was like, if I keep getting up every morning and looking at this, I'm never gonna feel better. I'm never gonna get over it. So I did that. And then I made this new channel, the It's a Me Jay channel that is on YouTube, that has the sound design stuff on it, just before moving. And then now we're here.
I see. Oh shit. Welcome, Raiders! Well, Woody, thank you for the raid! I hope you had a good stream. And oh my gosh, I think you were raiding Sage. Hello, Raiders. You've raided into my SmolTalk podcast episode featuring It's a Me Jay. He's an audio engineer VTuber, well, recently OWL VTuber, but we're just learning about the extent of how much he's made content. And we have gotten to a very, very interesting part where he has talked about how 2 years ago, before he's at his current location, that he deleted his channel that he had been investing in. And I was just kind of picking at why. So if we don't mind going back to that, Jay, I'm kind of curious. Do you mind if we talk about if, like, you said that you deleted it to get over the mental. Are you over that mental?
I think mostly. I still sometimes currently struggle with just creating in general, and I think part of it comes from that channel, because I made reaction content, and so it was really easy to make, easy to edit. I could pump out a video in like a couple days or less. But now, when anything takes me more than 8 hours, I want to disappear. So I'm like, why is this so hard? This shouldn't be so hard, but it is. Like, normally it's supposed to be hard, right? Like, I was playing on easy mode. So essentially, like, it still kind of hangs with me, but that also kind of relates to why I, like with the clarinet video that I just made on the other channel, I'm trying to get better about just recording things, doing quick, simple editing, and then posting it. Because, like, if I keep making things, I will get over the barrier of not being able to make things.
Oh, lovely.
And then I think from there, we'll be able to work more on actually focusing on creating creatively. But that's the biggest thing. I'm a big think about instead of doing. And so I'm trying to work on doing more so that way I can...
I'm so elated. Oh, I'm so worried, but now I'm just like, okay, cool, you got it. You have it under control, or well thought out at the very least. Maybe not control. I'm sorry, that was painted wrong.
No.
I see that you have understood that this is just something that you have to like go through a couple of times to be familiar with that headspace and kind of know how to navigate it. And I'm so excited to see what you create while you're in that headspace. I know it's not the most enthusiastic mindset to kind of try to create from, but I do think this is the most critical part of like creation, because it's who we are when we aren't like at our most confident selves that I believe a lot of people like are able to like connect with and feel vulnerable with, you know? So yeah, I'm not sure if it's if it can be understood, but I have a lot of hope that you'll be able to get out of that just fine with what you're doing. So
thank you.
Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, even now it shows up in little ways. Like, a great example is, actually, I guess this isn't just content related. I've had this problem for a while, even with my audio work. It's like the idea, and this is more common than you'd think, but you don't think about it when you're in that space, headspace. Sometimes literally just starting things is so incredibly overwhelming, like to its basic degree. Like, I will open Pro Tools, the digital audio workstation that I work in for audio, and I will just stare at it. And I will literally be like, I know I have like 2 stream alerts to work on today. And then I just close it because I just can't. I don't know, something about the like not being able to will myself to even do the thing, right? Better about that lately. It's really just trying to convince yourself that like, oh, just do it for like 2 minutes. And then 2 minutes goes by and you're like, oh, just 5 more minutes. And then 5 minutes goes by and you're like, okay, I can sit here for the next 2 hours. It's fine.
That momentum build is really easy for you, it sounds like.
But it's just the starting that is difficult.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I feel so relatable. And I feel like for a lot of people too, this might come like hit a little close to home. Do you have any like, what are the things that have helped you start? Even though it might be a little hard to get to, it might just be nice to know.
In terms of like doing that, like starting something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually one of 2 things happens for me, and this may kind of give you some insight. If I'll kind of walk you through my mindset.
Please
If I know, for example, I have a vocal mix to do today, and I shouldn't say hate. I sort of dislike vocal mixing, but I only dislike it because I dislike vocal editing, right? And it makes me think the whole process is a pain in the ass. It's not really, but that's what I feel like. So let's say I have a vocal mix to do today, and it's like due in 4 days, and I've been sitting on it for 3 weeks, right? And I'm like, I need to get this thing done. It has to be done soon. And I'm sitting there, and I'm literally just staring at my computer. I haven't even opened my digital audio workstation. Like, I'm like, I need to open this to start, but I cannot will myself to do it. One of 2 things. Either one, I do that method I kind of briefly mentioned, where like you just out loud to yourself, you just be like, okay, we're going to work on this for only 5 minutes. That's it. You don't need to work more than that today. Just do 5 minutes. and then set a 5-minute timer, and then open the thing and do it, right? And then when those 5 minutes are up, usually by that point, your brain is already in it. Because like the momentum is not a hard thing usually to do. The brain likes to carry on doing the thing it's already doing, typically, unless maybe you have potential mental health problems, which of course I can't speak to that, but I know that can make it hard sometimes. But like usually the brain likes to carry momentum. So once you've done those 5 minutes already, your brain's like, okay, yeah, I could do this again for another 30. That's not that hard. And then you're just doing it. And by the next thing you know, you look up and it's been 2 hours. So that's one thing you can try. And it doesn't have to be that like drastic. It could be increments. You could be like, oh, 2 minutes and then 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and just keep setting that timer. And then by that point, oh, look, you've already worked for an hour. Good job. You know what I mean? You could be done for today if you want. The second thing is some days you just can't do it. You know what I mean? Some days you have to remember that like it's okay to not, which is hard. But like if I'm sitting there for a long time and I'm like, I really don't want to do this. If I've tried that method I just talked about multiple times during the day and it's just not working for me, then I shelve the thing, put it away and go do something else. Like watch YouTube or Netflix or whatever kind of rest and relaxation you want to do. And the hardest part about that is not feeling guilty about it. But it's like, you have to be kind to yourself in the way that like you tried to do this multiple times today and it's just not happening. So be kind to yourself, take the day off and then try again tomorrow. Unless you literally can't. If your deadline's tomorrow, then you're kind of fucked. But but that usually works for me. Although I will say that when I do method 2, if the thing is coming due soon, I typically do feel very guilty about not doing it. So even though I know like, oh, Jay, like it's okay, like you couldn't get to it today, so you just gotta rest and prep your brain mentally for tomorrow. But the whole time I'm also like, yeah, but it's due. I feel like shit. I haven't been working on this thing for 3 weeks. What's wrong with me? So like, so a double-edged sword there. But usually one of those two methods works for me.
You know, something I really, really am fascinated by is just how much you talk to yourself, because this is a very, very important thing to do in terms of like when we struggle, especially. And I don't sense a lot of struggle in keeping yourself afloat, right? I feel like for a lot of people, keeping themselves afloat is also something to, it's like a skill. It's like a skill check sometimes. But but for you, I feel like I don't know, I feel like you get those skill checks and then you go with them in stride.
Thank you. I try my best. I think, and I don't know exactly where these like sets of mentality comes from, but I really feel like, well, if I had to guess, I would say it's probably from having good support systems in my life, in the way that like I can feel strong enough to support myself if I need to, because I have people I can rely on. So it's kind of like foster that positive mentality of like, okay, even if I'm struggling today, like I know that life is not meaningless and I know that I have people that care about me. So like, if I need to take the day, I'll take the day, and then tomorrow we'll try again. And part of that could also be related to, there's a lot of people I look up to who are similar in that way, and that they're like, oh, I can, it's okay. Like it's okay to take care of yourself and just, you're a strong person. You can do this. So those kind of things, all that like positive mental attitude. That's like people care about me. People care about the things I do, and I'm not worthless. So I think that like, it helps me convince myself that like, hey, today's a rough day, but like there's always tomorrow, So I don't know. I don't know if any of that makes any sense, but
no, that does. And I love that actually. This might be, this is so niche, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I would love to maybe see you do some affirmation videos of some kind. Maybe like while you're tuning your clarinet, like, you know what, guys, take that break. something like that, But it's so comforting to hear you go through your thought process. It's very nice, and it feels so clean actually. Like you've gone through this place many times.
Yes. What do they say? Experience is the best teacher, something like that.
Absolutely. Gosh, hold on. There's a lot of things that I really want to go back to, actually. Is there anything that you'd like to elaborate on before I ask my next question?
Whatever. I don't think I have anything in my brain at the moment, so whatever you got, let's do it.
Same, all the time. Anyway,
No thoughts, head
No
empty.
thoughts. It's just fucking bakabitahi. Okay. You had mentioned that you cared a lot about your editing. And you went as far as to mention about like going through Zoom cuts, head inflation, and audio filters. Yeah. Is there any editing styles out there that you took inspiration from?
Oh, this is wild. So I pretty much I try to mash together. I'm basically an editing amalgamation of everything I've ever watched.
Exactly,
So,
I get that.
But if I had to pinpoint the style, think like old school. I say old school as if this is all old, but I guess in theory it technically is. Think like older YouTube gaming videos where people would play like Minecraft, like Let's Plays and stuff, or like older, like even modern, like Markiplier style videos where it's like somewhat you see like the cuts into the person's reaction when they do things, or like there's something interesting happening on screen, so they do like the linear like motion zoom, things like that. Or like I watched some, like, what's so fun about this, I watched some editors who are also creators, and sometimes they have those kind of styles where it's like they'll do the funny like audio distortion, or like the shake zoom when they're making a screaming or something, and it's like just those kind of things that like I like that style of, like, I'd almost call it like a hybrid of old and new stuff, but like, because a lot of modern really like over the top content is a little too much. It's got all those crazy motion graphics and all that, like all the text and the crazy subtitles and Mr. Beast and and I'm like, I can't do that, but well, I could if I wanted to, but like I kind of cling to that like I cling to that like 2020, what is it, like 2021, 2022 like gaming content style sort of. And I just like to do that in pretty much anything I make, even if it's not gaming content.
Can I like input my perspective on it? And I want to see if you think I'm like wrong, because I feel like when it comes to not Mr. Beast, but like those kinds of modern day edits that you mentioned, like I have a stepson. I seen the TikToks that he's like watching and shit, and like it's so everything is just meant to grab your attention, even if it's not anything of like value. There's a sound playing, there's a picture here, there's like a thing going on right here, and it's like very, very like in your face, and I don't actually feel like I'm absorbing anything of value. So I understand with old school Let's Play videos, many edits are meant to grab your attention, but it's also with direction. There's purpose. There's purpose. There's actual like storyboarding even sometimes. So I'm very, very happy to see at least some kind of affirmation.
I 1000% agree with that. Well, that's the reason I can't watch any TikTok anymore, is because like sometimes, once in a while, you get good content, right? But a lot of the time it's just all this like retention hacking. Yeah. Like the video starts and in 3 seconds somebody's trying to scream or yell or like speed through the point as fast as possible to you. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like I'm a yeller. Look, don't get me wrong, but like I can't yell 24/7 in my life. Like it's too much. Or like they do all the crazy flip cuts and the zooms and all the fast like movements. And sometimes I'm watching these videos and I want to puke, like because I physically am just like disoriented trying to keep my eyes on whatever's going on screen. Yeah, literally. And so it's really wild. Yeah, and I mean, arguably, I don't know. There's a point to be made, I guess, about like how much retention editing is necessary and important to like keep someone's attention, but also tell a good story at the same time. I don't know. There's so many like caveats and back and forths you can make about like you sacrifice one by keeping the other, personality versus editing versus retention versus storytelling, whatever. But yeah, no, we're pretty much on the same page. I would agree with you.
Heck yeah. But I just feel like though, when I watch those things, I end up thinking like, I want to feel something again.
Yes.
I want to watch something and feel something again.
That's the reason that I think like I'll watch these, sometimes I do, and I won't say I don't. Sometimes I do watch the heavily like edited retention style content. Like if you watch any of those like 100 Days of Minecraft videos, at least some of the first ones that ever existed, it's always like super. It's like, today we're playing Minecraft and I'm gonna spend 100 days, blah 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 blah, and it's all like super intense, right? But then like you watch any of those and you're like, wow, my brain kind of hurts, but it was a decent video. But then the next thing I open up is like a Ocarina of Time retrospective, and it's like a 3-hour long video essay with like only just scripting. It's not like retention anything. Always need that brain refresh.
I love that. Yes, I want to talk about video essays too. Oh my god, I want to know which ones you watch. But hold on, video essay.
Video essay.
I had a question and I wasn't typing shit down. Hold on, let me gather my
Sorry.
thoughts.
My bad.
No, not your bad. You shush. Let me think.
Then if I keep yapping, she won't be able to think. Yap.
Fuck, I'm ending stream. Okay. I feel like when it comes to editing, you have a lot of energy that I've mentioned before, I think, to like Nikki Jakey.
Oh, yes.
So
you're not the first person to tell me that.
I love that you said that. So I was just wondering, like, has there been people that you did want to emulate energy from?
You know, this is really interesting because I'm sure that a lot of the content I've consumed, I kind of build off of, oh, that's good energy. I should try that in my content. But a lot of what you see like in my green screen stuff, which unfortunately I've taken the green screen down now, but a lot of what you see in my green screen stuff is really just like, that's how I am. So like when I'm talking, well, at least when I get excited about something, like especially when we're talking sound design, if I'm like telling a story and I'm like, wow, this thing really pissed me off, I just get super loud and I just like shout at you because I'm like, this thing made me angry, rah! You know, like. But in terms of like creators that I've watched where I'm like, oh, that's a cool, like that's what I want to do, right? There's a few literally off the top of my head. Obviously, Nikki Jakey's one of them, but it's so funny because. Literally, I think you mentioned that. A couple other people have mentioned that. They're like, Jay, have you ever watched Nikki Jakey? The thing is, I know he's like huge, but I never watched his content until like a month ago.
What the fuck? He's so good.
I know. And then when I did start watching his videos, I was like, damn, this is good. I can see it. So there's like, he's a good one. I was at one point watching, the guy's name is Scooch.
Yes! Oh my god!
Yeah.
When he was...
When he was doing his like green screen stuff, I was like, oh damn, that's really good. I love that. And then same thing, I just watch I don't watch him much anymore, but when he does post a video, his name's Jimmy, J1MMY. He makes a lot of like RuneScape videos.
That was not flattering pictures of Scooch. Guys, he's a cool creator. Go check him out. I like what he has to say.
Scooch is great. I like Scooch. But yeah, all these like anyone who basically sits in front of the green screen and talks, I'm like, yeah, I dig that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Oh, I've lost everything.
She's lost everything.
Okay, I lost place of my dock, and then I now forgot everything we talked about. Let me...
Oh no.
Let me recollect myself. Scooch, and then... Ah, yes. I love it when I don't type out the question I just asked. Jay, what did I just ask?
You asked if there are any people or creators that I emulate that or gather that like excitement from, that energy.
Yes. And then I asked, okay, yep. I feel like you were kind of commenting on Nikki Jakey, but that didn't seem like it was intentional. So that's amazing. I love that was just something that just naturally came out of you, because not to say that it is like, oh my god, you're like Nikki Jakey, but the energy you bring about gives me the same excitement I get for Nikki Jakey videos. Like, oh my god, I want to see you I want to see you just yap. I want to see you talk about shit, man.
Thank you. Oh man, you're really boosting my ego over here, because half the time I sit down and I'm like, is anyone going to care about anything I say?
I hate that. Well, I get that. I hate that I get that. Because what ends up happening, Jay, is that you find a lot of people who also arrive at that opinion, but from the other side of the world of like thinking. Like, for some reason, we get a lot of creators end up in this headspace of like, why would anyone care about what I'm doing right now? And I think the biggest answer I found every time I get hit with this question is, I care. It's because I care. And I want people to care. And it hurts that people don't care. And I don't want to admit that people don't care. So I want to keep at least pretending that if I make this, enough people will care one day. Or the people who care will come back and see that someone cared all those times ago. You know?
Yeah.
So
That's real.
yeah, just
Love that.
Just my thoughts.
It's good thoughts. I think that, I mean, I do have that thought all the time where I'm like, and I know where it comes from. It's another YouTube thing, LOL, smiley face. It's the thought of like, if you, right now, if you wanted to become a YouTuber and you go on YouTube right now and you type in the search bar, how to grow on YouTube, how to become a YouTuber, the videos that you will typically find are usually all the same regurgitated advice, which are like, make great videos, have good titles and thumbnails, have good video ideas, XYZ, like get your hook over within the first 30 seconds of the intro. Make sure you tell people when they click on the video what they've come to click on, blah, blah, all these kind of things that like people push. And I think a problem that I have with it all, and not that this will matter in this little ether that I'm shouting into, but I'm just a tiny little owl making little videos. The problem that I have with it all. Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
That
that.
was good. Damn, she got me, Cat. That's crazy.
Sage coming. I didn't say that.
There's this thing where they're all like, oh, make good videos. You have to have good video ideas. You have to have good video ideas. You have to have good video ideas. So much so that like you start thinking like, okay, but what's a good video idea? And who decides that? Right? And then also like you think about it so much that you're like, is the thing I just did even a good idea? Even if it maybe was, but you convince yourself into thinking it's not, because all these stupid gurus on YouTube have been like, oh, if people aren't clicking on your video and you're not getting a good click through and people aren't watching your video, it's probably not a good video. It's probably not a good video idea, right?
That's
and
terrible
like,
framing. Oh, I hate that.
I know. And it's like, And there's, again, so many things to this, but I think at the end of the day, it kind of spirals the brain. It's when you do too much research and not enough action, something we've kind of touched on earlier. A lot of thinking and not enough doing, right? Mm-hmm. You think too hard about, is this a good idea or not? And it keeps you from actually creating the thing. And the other thing is that there's an audience for everything, right? I always thought that like my sound design content on the It's a Me J channel, like very, very niche. Like the only other sound design channels you will ever find on YouTube are Marshall McGee, Aftertouch Audio, and maybe a couple game audio channels like Akash the Car, right? And the channels are either talking about game sound, talking about audio post-production sound, or talking about like the philosophy of game audio. Like I think it's Marshall McGee has a great video where it's literally like, why is the sound design in Breath of the Wild so good? And that's cool. I love watching that video, but I wouldn't make a video like that, right? Like I don't care about that, right? So game audio is cool. All these things are cool, but that's the problem is there's only like 3 or 4 types of sound design channels on YouTube, and the others are people doing redesigns of their favorite like anime or games to get like portfolio work, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I sat down to do that, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And why is anybody going to care? Like the next video I was supposed to make, which is still in progress, smiley face, was I went and recorded, you might have seen this on Twitter, I recorded those bathtub sound effects and I turned them into sounds, and then I was going to make that a video, and it was just going to be a silly little like, here's my journey doing sound design and recording some stuff and doing this thing, right? But the thing is, I haven't created it yet because I've been stopping myself because I'm like, this isn't a good idea. Who cares, right? Like, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, but also I just haven't had a lot of time I haven't written a script yet, so I haven't recorded. Anyway, Point is, but all that to say that like, you run into this a lot with YouTube where it's like, if you're trying to grow or build a channel, really the answer to everything is stop thinking and start doing. But easier said than done, I think.
I see. Well, I get that a lot. Can I just say though, like, I feel like this is me speaking out into the ether. I'm sorry. Like, step to the side, Jay. Hold on. Let me get on the table for a second. I want creators to know something. No, not really. I'm sorry. Come back. Uh-oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on. Pause. No, I'm not gonna say that.
I know exactly what you were gonna say. Yes, I do.
Love yourself. Okay, I remember now. Anything... This is gonna make me sound like a fucking weirdo. I feel like anything is interesting in the right framing. Like, seriously. And it's so hard to find the right frame to make people care. But we fooled people to care about, like, pandas, okay? They don't actually serve any purpose to society and the wild, but we've managed to create a huge logo of them because of marketing. And marketing is truly one of the craziest things to invest in. So like, I feel like I would love to watch your bath sound video, but for me to convince you of that, I would only be able to say that, like, I don't know. There's no way to convince you of that.
What I will say though, that is within this, like, the positive responses I do get on my content do make me feel really good about it. Because it's like, for example, I made those couple videos about doing the sound design for our video game, which I want to talk more about over time as we do more. But they're so really oddly specific. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm talking about game audio. No, it's like, I'm not teaching you anything. I'm like talking about my time doing this thing and the challenges I experienced while doing it, or the enjoyment I had out of doing it. And then maybe you'll learn something along the way, you know? But even though those videos have gotten, like, I think it's total only, like, I say only as if this isn't a big number, total like 2,500 views or something, all of the comments are always very positive, like, except for that one guy who was like, your problem isn't that you're... Anyway, I won't say that. But the other people are always really kind. They're like, oh, wow, like, I'm getting into game audio, and this video was so informative for me. And I was like, I don't know how, because I didn't teach you anything, but I really appreciate that. Or they're like, dude, your channel... I actually do kind of hate when people say this, but I know they mean it from a nice from a good place in their heart. They're like, your channel's so underrated. Why don't you have more subscribers?
Oh god, the comparisons.
I'm like, don't say that to me, but also thanks.
Just a warning to anyone who might be trying to, like, I don't know, say these kinds of comments. Like, say you're trying to compliment someone, but at the comparison or expense of another creator. Please don't do that. Like, both creators are not happy to be told that, and it's just an extremely uncomfortable thing, because I don't know, what if they like that other creator? You just insulted someone they liked, first of all. Man.
Well, and in general, the idea with that one too is it's less about, it's more like when someone says the things like, oh, you're so underrated, why don't you have more XYZ? Or it's like, oh, this channel deserves so many more views. My, like, immediate response, even though this may be like the pessimist in me, is like, okay, then why don't I have them? Right? Like it's like, okay, yeah, you say that, but then it's like, clearly it's not true, because, like, it's not working, right? Which is, again, that's another really far direction to take it. But the other thing is just like, it's almost like a backhanded compliment, sort of, where you're like, oh, this channel's so great, why don't you have more views? Like you're just calling out the fact that I'm not getting views on the content. And it's like, oh, I'm really trying hard over here, and I know you're trying to be nice, but also, like, say something else.
Yeah, I just say things without mentioning other people. That's a good start, guys. But yeah, thank you for sharing that experience. I am curious about some more about your YouTube comments. But one thing I need to mention is we are approaching our 1 hour break, and
there are.
When that happens, I am going to open up questions from chat. You guys are free to ask through Chat Redemption Store. Please ask for your team. Are you Team Rainy or Team Sunny? You guys can decide that through the Twitch panel information or by typing in !board. Let me ask one more question before I go on a break. Let's see.
you may need to. I mean, I have your stream open. I'm getting ads right now, but
Oh,
I don't
wait
know
for
if,
ads. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at chat.
I was gonna say I don't know if anyone else is getting ads, so you may need to redo
Finger
that.
guns. I understand everything. Okay. Well
Got
then,
another like 30 seconds ish.
I will choose my next question in 30 seconds then. Thank you, by the way, for being such a lovely guest. You've expressed so much of your thoughts quite eloquently, I might add, and I have so much adoration for you.
Be eloquent? That's crazy. Thanks.
I feel like when it comes to expressing your thoughts, it only takes from running through them so often and then picking out the ones that you understand and then expanding on it in a way that you feel other people wouldn't understand because you understand your thoughts so much. Like I don't know, I get that sense from you, and it makes me it makes me very, very, very excited to see what else you would love to expand on. So
yeah. Oh, looks like ads are over.
yay! Welcome back from ads, everyone. In case you missed it, I will be going on a break soon for 5 to 10 minutes just because my ass hurts. And gives you guys time to ask Jason questions that we will get to when I return. These questions have to be asked through channel redemptions, and they have to be in salutation of the team that you must be rooting for. Team Sunny or Team Rainy. You can decide with the Twitch panel or typing !board. I will ask Jay one question though before I head out that I didn't decide in the 30 seconds the ad was going through. Fuck. Oh, okay. Can you go through maybe some of the video essayists that you like or maybe consume content?
Oh my goodness. There's only a couple off the top of my head, really, and a couple one of them. I guess technically not even a video essay. It's more like I just watch people talk about Ocarina of Time and shit. But because every time a Zelda video pops up on my YouTube, I'm like, yes. Oh, it's 4 hours long. Yes,
Hell
give it to me.
yeah.
But one person who I think about, I don't know if this is really considered a video essay, but he talks a lot about MMORPGs. His name is Josh Strife Hayes. He makes really good content. He's got so many videos where he breaks down. It is basically his idea. He's got a series called Worst MMO Ever, and it's his series where he's I play all through all the MMOs to find the worst one. And it's he breaks down the games from their core to what does he like about them, what doesn't he like about them, and you see him experience them in real time, not in real time, but well scripted content, super good stuff.
That's crazy dedication. MMOs are fucking grind fests, guys.
I know. Yeah, he goes through the whole thing, and the videos are usually an hour to 2 hours long. So when he posts a video, I'm like, give it to me right now.
Yummy, yummy. Do you have any videos in particular that you would recommend people?
There is. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank as you asked.
No problem.
There's this one video, and it's not by him. There's something that just popped in my head. There's this one video, and I think it still has the same title. If you go on YouTube and look up, "Every Zelda is the darkest Zelda game." It is an incredible video, and I don't think the guy who makes that content usually makes gaming related essays, but the whole purpose of the video is he's walking around out in real life scenarios with books and stuff, and he's talking into his microphone. And the idea is that every single every Zelda game that comes out, everyone makes the comparison of oh, this is the darkest Zelda. Majora's Mask was the darkest. Oh, Twilight Princess is the darkest. Oh, Breath of the Wild is the darkest because of the story. But his video, he talks about how every single Zelda game is the darkest Zelda game because they all have their own specific things to the story or the setting that make it feel that way. And it's really cool. It's a really good video.
Fuck yeah. I'm literally so fucking excited. I haven't actually gotten into video essayists since Joseph Anderson kind of stopped making his Witcher stuff, but I feel like I'm so ready to go back. So thank you so much for this recommendation. I have posted it in chat if you guys would like. Sorry, YouTube chat, I can't do that right now. Maybe I'll do it later. Okay. I'd love to get back more to that after the break and after some of the questions, if that's okay. Then,
Sick. Sounds good.
yeah, would you like to chat with chat, or would you like to take a break with me?
I may chat with chat momentarily.
All right, then in that case, I will doot. Yeah, get off the table. Okay. You may. Yeah, I will.
It's my table now, chat.
That is your table now.
It's my table now, chat.
Okay. Reminder for chat: please ask questions through redeems, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. Thank you for your patience. Toodaloo.
Hello, chat. Okay, so I guess hi everyone. Hello. I guess that Vespy has some like redeems you can use if you want to ask specific questions for later that we can tackle. What I'm assuming is if you ask them in chat, we will not look at them. So, probably like go through. Oh, she has it literally set up right there. You can read it in chat. But hello. For now, while she's gone, we can have a little tiny chat. I may need to step away quickly to fill my water. It's empty. But for just a moment, I hope you're all doing well. Question in mind at the moment, but I'll think on it. Remember to use your channel point redeem if you want to ask for later. But do think on it. Hope you guys are having a good day. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Damn, happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. I hope the work week has been treating you well, or if you don't work, I hope the school week has been treating you well. And if you don't do either of those things, I hope unemployment has been treating you. Is that something I'm allowed to say? Maybe not. Sorry, I missed the interview, but I'm a fan of your work. Well, you didn't miss all of it. We're just taking a quick break. We got another hour on us, so thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm just a little guy doing little things. So, okay, chat. I'm gonna quickly zoom and get some water. I'll be back in literally like 2 minutes. Here I go. Okay. I survive. Ah, I'm here. Hello, I returned. Did you remember the milk? Chat, let me tell you something. If you ever think I would walk away and forget about you to get milk, you're sorely mistaken. I've got my water refilled. I'm feeling energetic now. I'm gonna turn my gain down a tiny bit because I may start shouting. Gamers! Hello. Welcome back, chat. I said welcome back as if I didn't just come back. You didn't forget us. I'll never forget you. Have you guys been? How's the work? I said work did, but how's the day been? How's everyone? How are we feeling? Hopefully everyone's doing all right. It's Wednesday. Like I said earlier, halfway through the week. Don't knock forgetting us till you try. Okay, chat, maybe I'll try to forget about you. Nope, I can't do it. I have a billion questions to ask, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Well, put them in use the redeem. Put the questions in the with the channel points. And I mean, that's the whole point, so we can get to some later, I think. And then if you like, I can answer them. But yeah, I think the idea is that you don't put them in chat because we won't read chat normally through the interview. So I don't know how that works. I'm sure there's a redeem she has probably. Let me see. Is there? Oh yeah, ask Jay a question, and then you can pick your team. Rainy team or sunny team. And I believe the way that works is you ask with that channel point redeem, and then it will show up in the Discord that we're in. And then if I heart it, if I like it, if it's a good question, you get extra points or something. And then also Vespy will be like, that's the question. So please feel free.
So I've learned that it's not showing up.
Oh.
My streamer bot is not being friendly. So I assume I'll just copy and paste it. And you will you'll just pretend that I'm the bot. I'm just
okay. Vespy's a bot, everybody.
Yes.
Ban her.
No, I'm just kidding.
Ban her!
That's how my career ended.
Vespy banned for botting.
Honestly, a lot of VTubers have gotten into some trouble with that.
Mods, get her. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello. I don't know why the test inputs work. So it's like, come on. Why didn't they just go there in the first
Question
place?
keeper, why aren't you working, bro? Come on.
I know. Tisk. But no matter, I will just tell you, okay, this question. Oh, is there anything you'd like to wrap up? I just kind of barged in here. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, then allow me to begin our viewer question rounds. This first one comes from the lovely Searchu. Any tips for someone dreaming of doing their first ever cover and they're too nervous, asking for a friend?
Sorry, I just chuckled to myself because I have a lot of thoughts and I was going to say some things, but I probably will still say them. But, okay, here's the thing. You have to, when you're doing your first cover, you have to assess also your skill level, right? There's a lot of things we can talk about here. Let me tell you from an audio engineer perspective, it's helpful for us if you are a decent singer. And there's no better way to say that. Like, if you are not great at singing, it makes lives very difficult. But that being said, even if you're decent at singing and you're like, well, I'm not the greatest, but like I'm not bad, there's a lot of great things you can do that make a cover really easy to, I guess, produce is probably the best way to say it. That, and then also first-time things that are important to know. I'll run through some really, really quick knowledge tips that I always give any first-timers I'm working with. First thing, microphone. You got to have a decent one. There are decent USB microphones nowadays too. You don't have to have an XLR interface. But for the love of God, whatever you do, don't use a Blue Yeti. Thank you. Um, if you do have a decent microphone, the next fun tip for you is get it as close to your mouth as you physically can, pretty much, with the exception of a little bit of space for pop filter. Because a lot of VTubers, especially, or first-timers, are recording in their bedrooms, and your bedrooms sound like trash. And I mean that. They sound horrible and echoey and reverberant, and they're terrible, and they're hard to mix with. Reverb, I said reverb, as if it's a French word. Reverb is a pain in the ass to deal with in mixing, because we have to sometimes process you a lot, but we can't process you a lot if there's a lot of reverb in the room, because people will hear it. It will sound like you're in a bedroom with some reverb slapped on. So that's the other thing. Get your mic as close as you can to minimize we call it your voice to, well, I call it this, your voice to reverb ratio, if you will. And again, with your mics, it's best if you have to block plosives, a pop filter, or even a windscreen sometimes helps with this. But pop filter is your best friend, the little guard shield thing that goes in front of the microphone.
Hell yeah!
So those are first couple quick tips. Another thing for your first time doing a cover, don't think too hard, just have fun. Just go for it, all right? Usually, if you have someone who's willing to work with you, not all mixers are, but if you have someone who's willing to kind of guide you through, we can walk you through best practices. So like I said, getting the mic somewhat close, like a fist's length distance away is literally perfect. So if you kind of do that, then from there we can guide you on like take direction and things of that nature. I think for your first time doing a cover, it's best not to try and overwhelm people with lots of information, because it can make it very difficult. But on basics, those are some of the base things. And then the biggest thing I would say for anything you ever record, and this goes for anything. Everybody who knows me knows this. I always preach it, as so do other mixers. But nothing can save a bad performance, right? I can't magically tune you to sound good. You can hit the right notes, but if you don't project, if you don't perform properly, if you're not someone who really projects and you just do soft stuff, that's fine too. But if you don't put the performance into your performance, I can't magically make it sound like you did, if that makes sense. So no amount of mixing, as good as we are, or tuning or timing, as good as we are, will fix performance problems.
I'm
so
sorry.
you're okay, Vespy. We've talked about you. You're good. You're good.
20 minutes.
So work on nailing your performance, and like genuinely, when you're doing covers, please, for the love of God, I'm begging you, if you're singing at all, practice. I don't know how many people, it's like I pull out my clarinet and I practice, maybe not every day, but I practice the things I'm going to play. I don't know how many people pull out a song and go, oh, I like this song, and they know it, but they never practiced it, and they just sing it all the way through, and like they know it, and their pitches are somewhat close, but it's like, did you sit down and play that song at half speed and sing along to it? Did you sit down and play it at a quarter speed and sing along to it? Did you even sing along to it at normal speed before you even hit the record button? Like, practice the damn thing you're trying to record, for the love of God. And warm up, please. Sorry, that's a lot of first cover things, but that's what I got for you.
Thank you so much. I will type this out and send this to anyone interested later, all the questions. So thank you for all that lovely, lovely info. I know you have actually a video dedicated to this, I feel like. Or rather, there's a lot of audio help videos that you have. I'm not sure if you have a centralized location for that. Also, your model stopped tracking.
Sorry,
Okay,
I was looking over a chat.
No problem.
My second monitor is way over here off camera, so when I look over there, my model just stops moving.
That's okay. I get you.
I could probably move that. Regarding centralized, I actually don't, and here's this is why I don't. Because I didn't want to be a channel or a place that gives tips. Exactly.
Good.
So like, it's like if you want to know a lot of like recording tip, great. Here, I'll rec somebody really quick. Everybody in chat, if you need any cover information, any first time tips, any like recording tips, go find Coffee Run on Twitter. He's incredible. He makes amazing full-on thread guides on like recording covers, getting harmony guides, making your cover sound as good as it can. He talks about compression. He talks about stream filter. He talks about everything. So he's your guy. I'm not your guy.
And he has a lot of free assets, such as like BGMs, and he has partnered with other creators on like package assets. He's done a lot for the VTubing community. So.
He's so good. Yeah, I love that guy.
Huge shout out. And he actually streams occasionally too. Let me go on ahead and give him a shout out. My goodness. Wait, I don't know his Twitch. Fake fan. Everyone pointed the fake fan.
Me too. I don't know his Twitch either.
Coffee, right?
Sorry, coffee.
Genuinely too. I think his OC is probably one of the more unique OCs I see in this space. So,
1000%.
Yeah, yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see that. Look at this. Hold on. I'm just gonna show you guys. He has this cute OC right here that his sister draws for him, I believe. And that too, he works closely with a family member that just speaks to my heart. My siblings would never work with me. Let's see. Surely he has his... Oh, I know he doesn't stream, but... I'll just link his little... link tree. I would never let my siblings work with me, and there it is! Alright, let me get on to this next question from our continuously ever-loving Searchu. Boop. Would you...
yes.
You probably love all your children equally, but do you have a favorite project you've worked on?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Oh, he said it! Siri gets a double!
Damn. Okay, I'll tell you about two, because I can't decide between project types. As a favorite project, one of my favorite projects of all time so far, because it was so nuts and silly, was when I got to do Narissa Ravencroft released, I think it was about a month ago. It might not have been that long ago. It was on one of Callie's streams, I think. She released the little boneless wings wrap.
Oh.
And I got to mix that. So it was really fun. Cuz it was just a little like shitpost style like mixing thing, and it was awesome. If we're talking like things that aren't very serious, that's probably my favorite. Too many to list here, but pretty much anything I've worked on with Risu is a big win. Just love working with her. She's great. But in terms of actual full-on favorite project, probably a sound design project. I had, and this is relatively recent, I got to assist with work for Merryweather Media when they did Mary's lore video with Astraline, and it was like a 18 minute, 20 minute, 24 minute lore video. Might have been 34 minutes. I think it was 34 minutes. Whole ass lore video. The sound designer who works with Merryweather Media is a pal of mine. He's cool. So he was like, Jay, can I get your help on this? And I was like, yeah, of course. And I've assisted Merryweather before with the Shy Lily lore video. I did some of the sound design in that. Actually, I did all of the sound design, excuse me.
Ooh, nice.
Osen did all like the mixing and like other stuff, but I did the actual like sound effects. But with the Merryweather Media lore video, for Mary specifically, I had a super fun time because it was a lot of combat. So it was like action sequence sound design for like animation and stuff. And that shit is so much fun, but it's also really hard because there's so much stuff that goes into combat sound design. It's so like intense and like fully like kitted out.
He has a video on this, by the way.
And oh yeah, and so like I did that, and yeah, it was a fun time. It was really great. I got to do, I think total I did like 11 minutes, 14 minutes of sound design for but so about half of the video I did the sound design for, and it was a really awesome time. I had so much fun.
Did you have a lot of freedom?
Sort of. So basically, the way that kind of thing usually works is in that regard, Osen, who was the other sound designer and the mixer and the audio dude in general. Usually I like defer to him, so he'll be like, "Hey Jay, like, go wild, do your thing, and then I'll let you know." And I'm like, sick. So then I just like design things as I visually see them and like think of them and imagine them, and then I send them to him and I go, "Hey, thoughts on this?" And he goes, "Can we try XYZ?" And I go, "Yeah." And it's kind of like a little bit of a back and forth, but part of it is the deadlines for these things are also usually very, very tight. So sometimes it's just like you do it, and if it's good enough, we go with it.
Good shit. The grind sounds fun. That sounds like you stress kind of type shit where the deadline's right there, but it sounds like you're enjoying it, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it really depends on what it is. Like I said, if this is like vocal mixing, I won't say that on Twitch. I wanna, but if it's sound design work, even if deadlines are tight, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's get this stinger, gamers. You know what I mean? Like every time I do a stinger sound design, I get so hyped, even if it's like, oh, I need this tomorrow. I'm like, fuck yeah, you do. I'm doing it right now.
I can't wait. I need you for sound stinger design in the far future, but whoa!
I've been working recently with, completely quick, random, tangent related. Recently, I've been working with Blue Bao. I don't know if any of you know him. He's an animator. You might have seen his stuff on Twitter. He's got a very, very distinctive animation style. A lot of his stuff kind of borders on very like horror-esque looking. But he just showed off a stinger he did for Michi Mochibi. But he's also done work with like other bigger VTubers. He did work with Onigiri, and I did like the audio for that stinger. He's done just a lot of stuff, but I've been working with him a lot lately, like in tandem collabing basically, where like essentially he goes, "Hey Jay, do you want to do the audio for the stinger if the client is cool with it?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I do." And so then like I've been doing a lot of that lately. So the stuff I can't show you, of course, because it's not out yet. But like it's been so much fun. Like I've been having such a great time because like that stuff is like we cook.
Let's go.
A tiny little dream of mine to do sound design for anime, but can't really like in current life situational context do that. And so when I get to work with VTubers, it's pretty much the same thing. I get to work with anime style things, and I'm like, this is so cool. Anyway,
it's also like you get to deal with it at such a tiny scale that it's the industry problems that you're completely evading as well. So it's like
that's
a little bit of a nice middle ground.
Yes, that's what I was telling Blue earlier. I was like, it's my dream to do this for anime, but like without the stress of the anime industry.
Right?
Same thing with like audio industry in general. Like game audio is also kind of tight deadline, super stressful. Like that's why I like doing sound for Colossus Eternal Blight, our indie game, because it's on my own time. I get to just have a great time with my best friend who's making a game, and he likes my stuff and I like what he does, and we just have a great time.
Oh, that's so fun. I want to talk about so much of that, but let me get to the viewer questions. Thank you. Thank you so much for that answer. So Sear also asks, follow-up to cover question regarding mic technique. I get a lot of mouth sounds, like saliva sounds. Any tips for that? Oh my god, thank you.
There is nothing you can do.
Oh fuck!
I hate to be that person. The best thing you can do with mouth sounds is just stay hydrated. Like that's the only thing you can do, because there might be some tips other singers may have, like eat an apple or something that maybe tends to quell mouth noises. I don't know how that works. Fiber with liquid or something maybe, but it's like the things you can do to quell mouth sounds have nothing to do with recording technique, and it's more so like you just need to make sure as a human being you are hydrated and you are not consuming things that make it worse.
Oh my god. Okay, what do you know some things right off the top of your head?
Like I said, the only thing that I can think of, that one thing, is like eat an apple.
Yeah. Okay, fuck. Sorry.
Someone mentioned that once, and I was like, oh, I guess that works. But yeah, that's my only thing. I mean, in theory, you can maybe change the distance from the microphone because it makes your mouth sounds less loud in comparison to everything else. But that's about all you can do. But the good thing about mouth sounds that you don't have to worry so much about It depends on who you're working with. But like in my case, I have Isotope RX, and I always use mouth declick on people. So like I clean up mouth sounds because I hate them. So So some editors and mixers have access to those tools, and if you just make sure that make it apparent to them that you do have mouth clicks and you're concerned about that as a thing, obviously do what you can to stay hydrated in the moment when you're recording. And if that means you record a line and then take a swig of water and then record the next line and then take a swig of water, do what you have to do. But yeah, some people have the tools to clean that stuff, and I always do because I hate people I always clean my vocals.
I think, yeah, I didn't know about the mouth click filter. So, oh goodness, I wonder if I Google this, will it just show up? Isotope, you said?
Yeah, Isotope RX. It can be expensive, so it's one of those tools that's
I do think it does go on sale every now and again, and people like to talk about it. So just keep your wits about you guys. I think someone who makes a lot of comments on when things go on sale is Plixwar. And
yes.
Oh gosh, this might be it. Question mark.
Isotope RX Elements is the big one you want to look at because that's the one that always goes on sale usually.
Whoops. Yes. Okay. Well, I'll find that later. But I have a lot of people who could use that or would probably enjoy this. So, would a good pop filter work too? Oh, good question.
Not for mouth sounds. Pop filters are two-purposed. They are meant to keep your plosives from blasting the capsule of the microphone and distorting it. And that's the typical. I don't know if I can do it here. I'm gonna try it right now if I take my windscreen off. The typical kind of sound you might hear. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if that happened correctly on stream because my mic has a built-in one. But that distorted bass that is what happens when you don't have a pop filter, and it's a problem. So there's that. But they also technically have a second reason. The reason pop filters were originally made. Not just for plosives, but they're also meant to stop saliva from hitting the microphone capsule because it kills the capsule over time, the moisture. So there's a fun fact for you.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait. Can you say that? Can you say that for the people in the back?
Oh yeah. You don't stop spitting on your microphone capsules. Yeah, pop filters. They're also meant to keep your capsule from getting too much humidity and moisture on them, which will kill the capsule over time. So you're probably destroying the lifespan of your microphone if you don't have a pop filter in front of it. Fun fact.
So get a pop filter, y'all. Woo! Good to know. Do we have any more questions? Pause. Where's my OBS doc? Okay. Yay! Okay, one question here.
Yeah.
From Tenrose. Earlier, you mentioned your dislike of the Blue Yeti USB mic. I know it's not the best, but has been serving me well. Could you explain why you dislike it?
Okay, the Blue Yeti is... I'm going to try to say this without sounding like a dickhead, because I just hate this damn microphone. But I'm going to be professional, and I'm going to be kind about it. Okay, so the Blue Yeti, objectively, has these issues where... And I think it's because it's a type of mic that's meant to have multiple pickup patterns on it. Even when you are in the cardioid, so that's the pickup pattern that picks up directly in front of the microphone, it tends to, for some reason, sound like it's picking up the entire room as well. So it's one of those situations where you could have it right in front of your mouth, and you still sound like you're 3 feet away from the damn microphone. I don't know why it's like that. Probably because it's cheap and doesn't sound great. Sorry, I'd said a mean thing. But actually, I think the Blue Yeti is not cheap, and that's the problem. That's why it makes me so angry, is because it's not cheap and it sounds like garbage. But here's the thing. So there's that. And every time I've worked with someone with a Blue Yeti in the past, it's been really painful because of that exact reason. And the quality of the microphone is just not the quality of the recording you get versus similar USB microphones is just not. It's not quite the same. It's kind of a pain, honestly. So obviously, if it's what you have, you got to work with what you got, right? I mean, like I said, I've worked with people who've got the Yeti in the past. As long as you're following as long as you're following the the things we talked about earlier, like get as close as you can, have a pop filter in front of you. Someone can work with it, but it's not our favorite thing.
I see. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to ask you where you draw the line, because I feel like this is such an interesting thing for newbies, because we're encouraged, to try things, do things, but sometimes I've discovered there are just things that are not workable, but that line is somehow not clear. I'm not sure why.
It depends on specifically like what you want to know. So like if you have any specific thoughts,
right? So
I can answer.
Say someone's recording off of their iPhone or phone. Those qualities, are they acceptable to a mixer?
No. The short answer is no. There are a lot of tools nowadays that can kind of enhance audio that's recorded from lower end devices that might sort of help. But in general, and while I've seen many people make it work before, and I've made it work before, it's not fun to work with.
I see.
Cell phone audio, for example, does not have a great way to adjust input level, right? So you don't have control over that kind of thing. The microphone quality is typically not that great. In fact, I'd say the Blue Yeti is better than a damn cell phone.
Oh, goodness. But if you can afford a Blue Yeti.
Yeah, but if you can afford a Blue Yeti, you should get something else. But yeah, so like I'd say like in a pinch, like I've worked with cell phone voice acting lines before. Not great. And you can tell they're not recorded on a great setup, but it depends on the product you're making as well. Like if it's not something crazy important for the world to see, then I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But that being said, the caveat to this is don't let the gear you have stop you from creating something. So that's my creator brain talking to you. Like if you're like, Jay, I really want to make a cover, but all I have is a cell phone and I can't afford a microphone right now. Record the lines on your damn cell phone. It's fine. But please don't make a mixer mix it.
Oh gosh. You know what's kind of funny? I find I might be wrong here. There is so many covers out there that are recorded on phones, and you can't actually tell that much of a difference from a mix thing, like a cheap mix, for instance, kind of thing. Like I find that the layman's ears cannot possibly pick up the intricacies sometimes that some mixers try to do, and I wonder, does it justify the means, in your opinion?
I think. Well, damn, this is a good topic. I think the thing about this, which is really interesting, relating to that moment of like the layman's ears can't really pick up XYZ, right? I actually think the opposite of that. I think, truthfully, that we can pick up on these things. But the thing is, a lot of people don't have the vocabulary or the know-how to understand when that's what is happening. So an example of this is if you've ever watched a short film or any kind of video that had incredible 8K stunning video quality, but the audio quality is like a shotgun microphone from across the room, and you're watching this film and this video and you're like, man, this is a good video. Something about it just doesn't feel right, but you can't put your finger on what it is because the audio sounds like shit. But you don't, like, to a lot of people, it's still natural because they're like, oh, that's what like it sounds like when someone's talking in a room. You're right. But like we expect more than that, right? We've all seen large cinema productions. We've all listened to streaming radio music, like high quality studio produced albums. We know what quality is. And I say we, meaning viewers, not just audio engineers. The thing is, a lot of us don't have the know-how or the ability to recognize when that quality is what we're realizing is the issue. Did I just blow your mind?
A little. This is so fun. I see. Would you say then that... So this is now how I see creativity, because it sounds like intuition is simply creativity honed in on like an aspect. Like for instance, audio or painting or game design or whatever. So in that sense, I feel like when you say layman's ears can pick up those things, they just don't have like that. Sorry, I say jargon, but jargon is jargon,
Jargon's
right?
Yeah,
jargon is jargon. But like when you find the frames for things, I find that you're right. People do understand if you lay out the tools before them how to use it. Like, oh yeah, this is how this was created then. So, I don't know. I pieced that together with what you have explained. So that was just a fascinating little thing.
Yeah. I will say though, I mean, I really think, so all of you, if you're out there trying to record something, maybe try to invest in at least a USB microphone. I'll drop a name right now. I shouldn't drop this name because I shouldn't drop this name because they tried to contact me to do a collaboration video with them, and then I was like,
it's on. Wait. I do post this on YouTube. I mean, I don't have to. Unreleased episode.
Yeah, but they were like, do you want to do this collab with us? And I was like, oh yeah. And then they were like, oh, but we want it on your main channel. And I was like, but I don't do gear reviews on my main channel. What's your problem? So, but I will say, Fifine, Fifine, they make pretty incredible products for super cheap. Now, I can't speak to the longevity of those products, but I will say they have a USB microphone for like $50. I think it's called the AM8, and it's a dynamic USB. It kind of looks like a little podcast microphone, and I'm telling you guys, that thing sounds incredible. I was losing my damn mind when I bought it and tried it out because it sounds so freaking good for a USB-C microphone. It's crazy how good it is. At that point, the only time you run into an issue is if your system sucks ass, like your computer or something, right? Because then you might generate like I don't know, electronics and shit. I don't know a lot about that for audio, but yeah, great microphone. It's like $50. Again, I don't know how long it lasts, but it worked great for the time I had it. So that's just a little piece of advice for you. $50 and it sounds way better than the Blue Yeti.
For what it's worth, I actually my Fifine, how did you say it?
Yeah, Fifine? It might be Fifine. I don't know. I don't know how they say
yeah.
their name.
Anyway, Fifine. Fine. Anyway, Miori Celesta had suggested one a long time ago. I can't remember the exact name of it, but this bad boy can last miles. It works to this day if I wanted. But
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I vouch for at least the one that Miori Celesta recommended on her Discord. Go check her out.
That's so sick.
Yeah. What did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You actually got 2 questions. Ew, look at you.
I see them.
You see them? No, don't peek. Kya.
I'm not peeking. Sorry,
okay.
Did you say kya?
No.
Oh no! Don't peek, she said. Yikes, chat.
It's just a fucking habit.
Oh no.
Anyway, Migophage asks, assume you were an indie game dev. Yes, I know. What would you look for in an audio lead? Migophage says as an indie game.
This is a great question, Migo, because I am an audio lead for an indie dev. So here's the thing, okay? If the roles were reversed, I think, oh god, this is so okay. Context though, the indie dev that I work with is my best friend. So like I think we work so incredibly well together because we just know each other. But if you're looking for an audio lead, my thoughts are, I think if you can find someone who like resonates with your vision for what you're creating and also likes taking in references is like the biggest thing. And on top of that, you have a good relationship with, if you can build a good relationship. Most game audio people, I will say, are very kind. Like the game audio community is full of wonderful, beautiful, kind people. So I think that if you find anyone, they'll be pretty great to work with. But the biggest things in an audio lead, I say as one, for me are someone who can, respects and appreciates the vision of what you're creating. And also, you can be like, oh, here's a sound effect from like MapleStory that I really like, and they can take that and reference it when being like, okay, like I gotta make it kind of have that tonality, kind of fit into your vision of the game, that kind of thing. So, and there's more I could say on that, but that's my main thought as an audio lead for an indie game dev.
Oh, thank you so much for your answer! Yay! Okay. Sirichu asks, what is your professional opinion on the Shure SM7B mic, since it's a super popular mic?
Ooh. I'm doing the little... Okay. I don't really like the SM7B. But it is a good microphone. And I say that as someone who both has experienced many people using it and has also used it in the IRL studio gig that I work at. So 7B, great mic, very smooth, flatters a lot of voice types, okay? However, I dislike that every streamer on the planet is recommended to purchase it because it is like a $400 to $500 microphone, and you could get a similar microphone for half or a quarter of that price, and it sounds pretty much good enough. Like, and lasts just as long. Like an example, right now I'm using the Rode Pod mic. It's $99 retail price. And twinsies, and it sounds, one, incredible, but two, even if you were like, oh, I want it to sound more like an SM7B, you can plop an EQ onto your OBS and change it to sound like an SM7B. It's not really that hard. But that being said, you don't need to because it sounds great anyway. But also, the pod mic is built like a fucking brick, so that thing will last you forever. And it's 4 times less the damn price. So like that's my fucking gripe with the 7B. The other thing with the 7B is it requires so much gain, and everyone has to buy a cloud lifter, and even then they still don't have enough clean gain. It's like you could just get a mic that doesn't require so much damn gain and it'll sound good. I don't know. I have so many opinions on the 7B.
I love it. You know, is there a situation where someone would need it?
The thing is, the other thing about the SM7B is it looks really great, right? I think if you're podcasting and you want that professional sleek look, or you're live streaming IRL and you want that professional sleek look, 1000% use it. And again, it is a great microphone and it sounds really good, but it's like there's so many precautions you have to take to make sure it sounds great. You have to have not just a cloud lifter, but on top of a cloud lifter, you usually have to have a great interface that has incredibly clean preamps that allow you to crank the gain way up and not hear any hissing noise. So I think like buy it at your own discretion and know that it will obviously last a long time and works well, but I just feel like streamers could spend the money on something else. I don't know.
Well said, well said. I actually know a lot of audio folks who really ask people to consider their voice type when choosing mics. And I believe, I'm sorry, I'm such a Mio fan, I'm sorry. But she says that the Shure really benefits male speakers the most. And since VTubing is mainly filled with females, she often discourages females in using it unless they have like that kind of it's voice type or what have you. I not to speak for her, I will happily link that information as soon as I find it. But thank you so much for like shedding light on that. I think a lot of people don't have that feedback when it comes to choosing mics. Oops.
Yeah, that's true. I do think that voice type is a conversation that I shouldn't talk about because I disagree with literally everybody who talks about voice type for microphones. Super hot audio take. I don't think the microphone matters. I think if you just EQ the damn microphone, it'll fix the problem. But the whole point, though, I guess, is that you don't have to do that, right? So they're not technically wrong in that aspect. I'm just that person where I'm like, I don't care if it's a male or a female. I'll put a damn Rode Pod mic on you, and I'll fucking EQ it so you sound good. Like, it's not that hard.
That makes sense. I think maybe then there's like a base state that all mics might be received in that benefits just play. But I have no idea.
No. But I mean, like, they're not inherently wrong. Like, different microphones will accentuate different tonalities and stuff. I'm just one of those people where I'm like, why go through all that trouble? Just use the mic you have and then EQ it. But not everybody knows EQ, so you know.
That sounds a lot like people who say that instead of having toggles for expressions, just make the toggles into your. Sorry, I'm like correlating.
Just make the face.
Yeah, just make the face. Don't make toggles. The face can make it themselves. The mic can accommodate for all voices, it sounds like. So that's neat to learn. That gives the mic idea in my head a lot more power.
I think part of the problem is that there's always, anytime you see any podcast style microphone, it's always a guy. Like it's always just men. Okay, I mean that's just how it is, I guess. But like that doesn't help anybody because it doesn't help anybody because then everybody's like, well, but it's always guys that are doing all the EQ and stuff. So like my voice isn't like that, and it's like you're right. And those guys know how to EQ or do stuff with their voices because it's their damn voice. But it is frustrating because I'm like, I think it deters a lot of, especially higher voiced people from feeling like they can get a certain microphone. Because they're like, oh, it doesn't fit my voice type. And I'm like, no, you just think it doesn't because fucking guys are the only ones talking to the damn microphone.
I see. Well, it's
Assholes.
good to know. That's lovely to know. If I wanted to own a Shure SMV7 one day or whatever you could call it, I will if I wanted to. Okay. All right. Let me get on to some of the other questions. We only have 10 minutes left.
There's so many. Oh my god, I know.
Yeah.
I've been
Okay,
yapping for too long.
Yeah, speed through. Okay. Sui asks, favorite listening profile, flat, V, bass, treble, and opinions / advice on listening for general public to enjoy an audio engineer's work.
Favorite listening profile. Oh, do you mean like EQ profile on like a phone or like whatever like device you're listening on? I'll be so honest with you, I don't care. I will say there's been a few times where I picked the treble profile, like because some phones will do that thing where they're like, oh, if you're under 30 years old, these are the frequencies we should boost. But that's just because I'm a sucker for high end. But realistically speaking, I don't care what it sounds like because the thing is, and this goes into the next part of the question, listening for general public to enjoy an audio engineer's work. If you can make your thing sound good on a cell phone speaker, then you're golden. Because like the thing you have to consider with all audio mixing work is like not audiophiles are not the only people listening to your work. Not everybody's listening on headphones. In fact, a lot of people are listening on consoles. They're listening on shitty headphone or shitty phone speakers. They're listening on shitty Bluetooth speakers. So it's like if you can make your section of mixes that work, like mid-range and stuff, sound great on shitty mono speakers, then you're killing it, and everybody will be able to enjoy that no matter what medium they're listening on. That is your tip for mixing life.
Oh, let's go! Thank you! I feel like, though, this question was more asking, how would a layman take note of an audio engineer's work better?
Oh, I see. Listening for general public to enjoy an audio engineer. Oh, my bad.
No,
sorry about that.
That's lovely advice as well. I'm gonna forget, yeah.
Opinions, advice for listening for general public. I mean, I don't know. I think this is still kind of similar. I think it boils down to like, I mean, if you can, listen to things on headphones, or earbuds at least.
Yes. I see.
I feel like those are like that's like what people mean for you to listen on. That's like the best experience in general. You know, like those ASMR videos where they're like, use headphones for the best experience. But it's like, not that I watch it. I don't listen to ASMR. I can't stand it. But yeah, like that's probably earbuds are like your best. Even if you get some shitty earbuds, like $10 earbuds out of the store, still better than like your phone speaker. So
Bass. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Heck yeah. All right, next question comes from Aki. Aki asks, do you have any specific recommendations for preamps?
Preamps. Ooh, okay. So for those in chat who don't know, a preamp is the thing that usually is in an audio interface. In general, it is what we talk about when we're referring to gain. If you turn a gain knob up on something, it raises the preamp is being turned up. You're driving more input into the preamp. So more of your voice goes into the microphone, goes into the preamp, right? Some USB microphones typically have preamps built in. So when we're talking about preamps recommendations, usually we're talking about either specific audio interfaces or external preamps. Which is like a thing that you plug your cable into that plugs also into the interface, and it gives you extra gain. So like you'll all probably know of with the SM7B, for example, the Cloud Lifter is a common name that gets passed around. That is a very high-end preamp with really good cable shielding, and like that's why it costs a lot, because it's also a brand name. But anything like that, there are things like inline preamps. I just got a preamp by Triton Audio. It's a FET head, FET head, like your head preamp. And it's one where you plug it straight into the microphone, and then your interface gives it phantom power, and you get extra gain. It's usually for dynamic or ribbon microphones. So for like most preamps, I would say like if you need a little extra gain, that's good. But generally speaking, I would say just get a great interface. Like I have the Volt 276 on me right now. I think Vespy also has a Volt.
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Under my recommendation.
It's great.
But the Volts made by Universal Audio is relatively new. It came out like 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago, and the preamps on this thing are monsters. I have my gain almost 3/4 of the way up right now. And like there's no hiss. So, and there's a compressor on the interface, and I also have that on. So it's just super good. You got to find an interface with high-end preamps. But Volt is a good one. The SSL2 is a common interface that people have that has good preamps. Supposedly the Go XLR has good preamps, but nobody can get that thing to sound good, so I don't trust them anymore. Those are the main ones. Motu, MOTU, is another interface that typically boasts having good preamps, and I've heard voice actors and singers alike say good things about it. So those three, if you're looking for XLR mic preamp recommendations.
What was the Volt thing? Oh, Volt 1 from Universal Studio. Hold on. I will...
Yeah, Universal Audio's Volt series.
Studio?
Close enough. Close enough. You mean well. I don't care.
No, it's just so funny. I'm so sorry, Universal. Don't come after me. Universal Audio. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have one more. I didn't realize I didn't type that there. Okay, so this comes from Sirchu as well. You mentioned EQ pretty often. Any tips for figuring out how to find the right EQ? I'm so close to just paying someone to figure it out for me.
Hey, I mean, as somebody who does audio consultations, I will tell you that we do not hate when you do that. So, and I think that's sometimes the best option, because the thing here is, you can look all you want on YouTube, but a lot of the advice out there is really, it's either bad or generalized, or, I mean, that's the thing, it's all generalized. A lot of it is hard to follow because, again, as we kind of briefly spoke on, your voice type is unique, right? And the way you want yourself to sound is unique. So sometimes the only way to really get that, if you don't know a lot about EQ, is to get a one-on-one where someone can help you through that. But, the best thing, I think, if you're trying to do it yourself, is try to familiarize yourself with what EQ does. Don't try to look up all these videos where people are like, oh, here's how you make your voice sound professional or studio. Like, learn how an EQ works, what all the different frequency bands do for you, like how they affect your quality of voice. And then, of course, experiment. Play around with yourself. That does not... Sorry.
On Twitch? Woo!
Anyway, play around with your EQ and experiment and be like, oh, I like that. Like, raise your high shelf at 6 kilohertz and be like, oh, that's a lot of crispiness. Do I want that? Do I not want that? You know, play around with that idea of your experimentation with your sound. Cut out a lot. Oh, but my other piece of advice, and this goes for everything, do more than you think you need to. You look up a YouTube video and they'll be like, do like 3 decibels of shelf. Don't do that. Do like 6. Do like 12. Do whatever you need to do. Do whatever needs to sound good. It doesn't need to be 3. Doesn't do anything. Okay, that's my advice, I guess.
I feel like I remembered you talking about like the difference between like 1 decibel with Daryl, maybe.
Oh yeah, 1 decibel is literally nothing. Did you guys, because here's a fun audio fact for you. Did you guys know the human ear does not register volume increment changes in less than 3 decibels? Typically. So like if you move an EQ 2 dB, no one's going to notice. You literally can't hear that. It doesn't matter. The only time a small decibel movement matters is when you're talking about the grand scheme of things. So if you're like, oh, I raised my vocal track. Or like if a client is like, I want my vocal up, and I'm like, well, I don't want to raise it that much. I'll do a little bit, right? But like if you're doing a vocal track and I'm like, oh, my volume is not loud enough, and I go up 1 dB or 2 dB, it doesn't really change much. You know what I mean? Unless you've already locked in the presence and stuff. But if I raise 1 dB on my damn master fader, the entire song is like summing all the tracks and coming up a decibel. So like that is noticeable. But generally speaking, changes in less than 3 decibels are not are not typically noticeable to the human ear, because that's how our ears work.
Duly noted. I will never ask for such edits again then. Can you just do a tiny bit, like maybe 1 or 2?
well, no, you totally can. I mean, like that's what I do. This was a short conversational. Oh, there's ads.
Oh,
There was
ads?
48 seconds on ads.
Oh no.
Short conversational thing.
Yay.
On.
How you feeling about wrapping up? Shoot, you feeling good?
Dude. Yeah.
Anything?
It's a good move.
Yay.
It is almost 5.
It is. And I really feel like, oh my gosh, there's been so much we went over. Thank you so much for all the little wisdom tidbits and fun facts that you've just sprinkled with upon us.
That I've just graced your presence. I'm kidding.
No, I feel graced. I feel blessed, and I feel like it's a shared sentiment as well. So I'm so happy that we have been able to, like, I don't know, just shower you with questions, and hopefully they've been fun to answer.
I am known in my circles as a master fader.
Shut the fuck up, 64. Oh my god. Go back to work or some shit. Oh god.
I'm gonna remember that one. I'm gonna use that one.
No! No! Not from here, please! Well, okay. Is there anything you'd like to wrap up on? Maybe a thought that you wanted to elaborate?
Oh
my god, the questions. I'm so sorry. There's been so much good conversation that I just fuck up and don't transcribe shit.
I guess no matter what you do, if you're working with an audio engineer, I guess please educate yourself on like quality for whatever you're doing, because for the love of God, I'm so tired of tuning people who can't sing. Please just learn how to sing. I'm tired of tuning people who can't sing and can't match pitch. And please, when you're voice acting, learn how to fill your bedroom with pillows so you don't get a bunch of echo. And please, when you're sending in lines, stop sending me a million takes. Just put everything in one file and then per track, please. And then don't send a million things to me, please. Just please, and stop sending MP3. I'll destroy you and your whole family. Okay, I think those are my
head pats. This poor owl has seen a lot. I'm very hopeful for the future that a lot of people just need experiences, and then they'll start picking up the good habits. It's
true.
It's just the first time blues, guys. I need you guys to understand that I was recording on a different BPM of all the covers I've ever recorded, and no one told me, and my mixers up till now were just brute forcing it, and yeah, thanks.
Wait, how did you do that?
Ableton just does wonderful things where you just drop a file in, and for some reason it snaps to some BPM, some imaginary. I have no idea. But
it does the so it like counts in ticks. So it like changes whatever BPM you have. It like changes the song to whoa.
Yeah.
Because in theory it shouldn't matter. Like as long as you're matched to the song, you should match the BPM. But like I guess some applications do that where they like stretch or like push the audio depending on your tempo. Ooh, scary.
Yeah, but I'm glad I got that figured out. Thanks to all the mixers that just brute forced it.
That's crazy.
You guys are gods. The things you guys are willing to go through.
I'm glad that I didn't ever deal with you at that point.
Yes, sir. You would not want to deal with me ever again. So, very enlightening, and I hope. Oh, is there anything you'd like to promote before I kick you out of the tavern?
Oh, she's gonna kick chat. She's gonna kick chat. Chat, help me out, chat. She can't take over. She can't do this.
Holy shit!
She can't do it. She can't do it, chat.
God,
there's nothing that can be done.
Wow.
Chat, chat. This is my stream now. No, okay.
My travelers, they're stuck in your fucking neck thing. Scarf. Jacket?
Yeah, it's a scarf.
Oh, okay,
Eventually, I'll go back behind the table, I think. But yeah, I guess.
Oh no, no, they're dying. No, Jay, what have you done?
Oh, they're there. That's so
Okay.
funny. I think promote. I guess. I mean, my Twitter, or I guess, or like. Oh, yeah. You know what I want to promote? Go on Twitter. Go on Steam right now and wish list Colossus Eternal Blight, made by Rustic Panda Games.
Let's go.
Because our indie game will be coming out eventually in the next, I don't know how long. It's probably going to take years. But like, go wish list Colossus Eternal Blight right now on Steam. I'm
doing it right now, guys.
He's doing it right now. Go wish list
you guys
Colossus
have time to
Eternal
do
Blight.
I have time to do it. You have time to do it. What's the name of the game again? Oh, it's right there. Thank you, game. Thank you, Bingo. I'm gonna pin that shit. Woo.
Thank you. But yeah, that's just our indie game. But if you wanna keep up with me, you can just go, I guess, follow me on Twitter, or if you don't have a Twitter, Twitter is I don't think it's.
Oh goodness me! So his Twitch has his links.
Oh,
here.
it does. Look at that.
So let me. Oh wait, do you? The fuck?
Maybe not. I might not. I might not.
Jay, why are they not on your Twitch?
This is okay. Look, we just talked about this before we started the call. I'm baby VTuber, and I don't stream on Twitch. I hate Twitch.
No,
I don't
right.
hate Twitch. Oh, sorry, Twitch. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to Twitch. It's a TOS. Sorry. No, I'm not a Twitch person. So like every time I try to do anything with stream, I'm like looking at my panels, and I'm like, I gotta put things together. Ew.
You'll be fine. Oh yeah, and there's his link tree.
Got the card link. That's perfect. Yeah, the card has everything. You can find my YouTube
Except
that I
his
actually do
clarinet
stuff on.
channel.
Except my Sorry, I'll put it on there. Thanks for reminding me.
Hissing. But yeah, looking forward to seeing more of that. All right.
Thanks.
Oh my god, 2 hours. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. All right, it's time for you to fly away now. Holy shit! That is a crazy. He could be a VTuber. He could totally. All right, goodbye, Jade. See you later.
Bye.
Oh my god. Okay. I never know what to do there. Just like leaving the call. I'll need to probably come up with a better format so it's like less awkward. But hey, thank you guys for listening to that episode of SmolTalk. Please look in chat if you guys are interested in checking out. Thank you for leaving. I forgot to close the collab room. Please go check out Jay at his links right over there. Our next guest is undecided, but I will probably have that decided within the next week. So there might be one more small talk before the end of the month. Otherwise, for sure in April, we will resume streaming activity towards the end. Holy shit, Jay! Thank you! Woo! Thank you for your prime. Oh my god, it's an honor. Sir, are you lost? Oh, thank you for becoming a tavern folk. That leads to my next point. I have a tavern folk talk. If you guys enjoyed today's small talk, I could interview you. Yes, you, tavern folk, who paid. How much is it now? Paid a subscription to the Twitch and has linked their subscription account to Discord. There you will find the details to be interviewed by me. The questions for this month's Tavern Folk Talks are... scrolling. I'm scrolling to the questions. Here we go. So this month's questions are... There's a notion out there that everyone has 3 faces. The one they show everyone, the one they show family and friends, and the one they wear alone. What do you think about this? And do you think this applies to you? How or why not? That's a first... I know the format now how I want to ask these questions. So the first one is always going to be a big one. The second one is going to be a get to know you question. So the second question is, what do you like to do during your favorite season of the year? Since we're approaching mine, giggle giggle. The next question I will be asking is, what kind of music have you been listening to lately? Drop a link. I've been really, since I've been on my break, I've been more in touch with the music that I've been kind of listening to throughout my life, and I'm just so fascinated of the phases and artists that used to resonate with me, and maybe they don't resonate with me anymore, but there's a part of me that still exists that still resonates with it, so it's still fucking cool. So yeah, I just kind of know, I want to know what you guys have been listening to lately. So if you guys are interested in answering, I'd love to see you guys come on into a VC and I get to ask you personally. If you can't show up, or maybe you are a little shy, you can link your Discord account into the channel and you can type into the thread that is the respective thread. I'm saying too many words. Anyway, there's a lot of ways. Oh my god, I said I was gonna try doing a form for people who don't have Discord. So if you guys don't have Discord but are a Twitch subscriber, at present there's no good way to collect your answer yet. So oh my god, woo! Thank you, Migo, for 30 months at tier 2. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I haven't done anything with my tier 2s in a hot minute, but if you are a tier 2, you will help decide future content. I don't remember the last thing I asked though. Okay. They raised it to 6. Oh, I cry. Thank you for your prime, Jay. I salute. Okay. My brain is rattled by all the info. Oh, 10. Thank you, though, for all your lovely questions. You guys all asked such good questions. Jay, if you are still around, sorry to ask, but if you have any... Oh, no, never mind. I'll just message this later. You can ignore me. We're gonna go move on to the next part of our day now. So I'll send you guys to another person. Who is on right now? Nomi is playing Repo, and oh my goodness, I missed her so much. She's playing with her community. Guys, Nomi is one of the best collab streamers I've seen. She always does community things, and she's always fucking, like, I don't know, there's always something fun to talk about her with. So I really think if you guys enjoyed my vibes, you'll enjoy hers as well. So let me go on and send you guys over to Nomi. I'm glad I saw this stream. I'm glad I saw you! Here are your raid messages. The first one is if you are a traveler, and the second one is if you are not. Oh, wait, nope, I'm stupid. Not stupid, I'm silly. Anyway, so the second one is if you are a tavern folk. Please use the right one. Also, in case you guys missed it, new emote, so cute. I got it from Faye Rumi. I'll talk more about everything at the Tavern Folk Talks on March 30th. So, without further ado, I shall send you guys off. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye. Take care.